Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Robert184 over there from gundam.tk, and today I'm back with my 5th episode of Gundam Daily. And what are we up to now? April 24th. Anyway, thanks for everybody who's been sticking with this, and lots of news and lots of questions to get to, so I'm going straight to it today. On to work. Kicking things off, we've got Bokyo, who just got his own perfect grade 00 riser, and it does take a while to build, and the GN drives are way cool. Zero argument there. But he's waiting for my perfect grade 00 review, so he should see how to do it. But anyway, don't wait for my review, because as we speak, I think my perfect grade riser, 00 riser is on its way to Iceland to go deal with the volcano problem. But it will be back sometime soon. Uber Cool asks about me doing a paint tutorial since the paint job I do is impressive. Well, Uber Cool, I think we have to give props to Bandai for that because I do not paint my models. I always want to buy models that look good coming straight out of the box with no painting. The only thing I do is usually add a little bit of lining with a $2 Gundam lining marker, my highest recommendation to everybody. Bryson here asks about the Master Grade survey wish list, which I did vote on quite a few times, and I'll tell you about that in probably a separate video, and he asks about the possibility of Bandai making a perfect grade 00 Quanta. And I think it's possible if the inner frame is identical. If they can just get away with changing the shell, yeah, it's possible. But to be honest, I haven't looked at the design of the Quanta to see if there's that much similarities yet. We'll have to see once the kits come out, hopefully in time for the movie. Alright, Kimi. That's a pretty good name there in Japanese for you. And what's next in line for the 00 Master Grade line? I've got to go with the 00 Riser. That's really my only guess. Akikon talks about Gundam vs. Gundam and Gundam vs. Gundam Next, which are arcade games here, and they're on PSP as well. Have I played it? Yes. Do I have a copy of it? No. Actually, I love the game, and I hate losing in the arcade. To be honest, I'm embarrassed to say I can only beat it on easy. I can't beat it on regular. I always die on the 3rd stage. And anytime I play other people, I just get sent to school, because you can guess that the people who hang out in Japanese game centers playing Gundam vs. Gundam, they're pretty good at arcades. But then again, I'm not, so. Optimus, thank you ever so much. Patrick has some bad luck because the volcano where my perfect grade 00 riser currently is at, basically the volcano slowed down his shipment of Gundams to Europe, and that's gotta suck. He asks if I built the Master Grade Sumo from Turn A, and there is no Master Grade Sumo, there's just a 1/100th kit, but it is plated in gold, and very tempting because I don't know anybody who doesn't think Harry Ord is awesome. My Hyakushiki's head antenna probably just fell off before I did the review. I would prefer to have it on, of course, and facts. I enjoy models says he's thinking of getting the new Musha Master Grade Mark II, and he says it's a little bit too blue for me, but I actually think that's one of the coolest features about it, because the Gundam Mark II started blue, and the Musha, I think it sets it off from the original one in a good way. KO717, what's the difference between a regular high-grade 00 riser and the designer's color version? Basically, they just paled down the blue, so instead of being a bright anime type blue, they sort of made it washed out. Anyway, I think it looks pretty terrible actually, and for a while though I think it came with extra weapons, but now that's fixed. You don't have to worry about getting the designer colors unless you actually like it. Really, that was just a pretty cheap cash grab by Bandai. iMac talks about why are Master Grades so expensive. Yes, they must put a lot of work and energy into design. The engineering in these Master Grade kits are getting just amazing, as you can see in the high grades as well. But why is a few sheets of plastic 4,000 yen and up? Well, I think it's cheaper than most other plastic model kits that I've seen, but I haven't looked very carefully after my bad experience with the Gurren Lagann from Kotobukiya. But one other thing is that Bandai's models are made in Japan, so I know that they made the speed grades in China, and there were some fans here that were unhappy about that. But the fact that Bandai is making this stuff here in good factories and paying high wages, I'm sure contributes to that. So, for those of you that enjoy your knockoffs, enjoy. Boeings ask where's the 1-to-1 Gundam that used to be in Odaiba in Tokyo. Well, anyway, it's nowhere right now, but it's going to be rebuilt, I believe in the fall of 2010, so hopefully I'll go see that again. Kaz the Hag is wondering, if I'm into lead Gundams, why is my avatar a flying Zagok head? I don't know, because actually before I got into building Master Grade lead Gundams, I was enjoying the high grade Universal Century from First Gundam quite a bit as well. And am I Japanese? The answer is no, but I'm glad I have very fluent English. Thank you. And finally, he says, do you apply all the decals given? And the answer is no. If they're not really in the anime or the manga or something really prominent, I don't really see a point in putting them all on, because it just takes a lot of time, and as you probably know, I'm a lazy modeler. But if you build a version Ka kit and you're good at decals, you can actually make them look pretty sharp. Warranty Body says, will you be getting any models that are bad guys after I finish the main Gundam collection? Probably. But right now, actually, I'm still searching for those main leadish Gundams that I can sort of justify adding to this silly arbitrary collection that I've decided to make for myself. Ghosty goes on to give some reasons for the high costs of master grades, and again says that other companies' kits are relatively more expensive. Ghostfighter asks if there's a kit for the version Ka of the Gundam Wing, like Heavy Arms and Deskite, and no, there isn't. He did do some redesigns of that. I don't know whether that was just publicity or what, but basically when they re-released the master grade version Ka, whether it was his original design or not, it's really just a remake of the Wing Zero Custom or Endless Waltz version, and it just has different wings slapped on the back, so really it's just a remold of the wings, which cost Bandai like nothing to make. So they haven't made anything else for that. Would I ever build the Mudrock or any of the RX-78s? Well, I'm not too keen on variations, but if I wanted to build some leadish Gundams and I enjoyed the video games, or I think they were in a manga too, and maybe I'd think about taking a look at them sometime in the far future. Video Quan, what a great question. Is the Master Grade Freedom Wing the Master Grade Freedom? Always easy to break out. Master Grade Freedom, its ankles suck as bad as Master Grade Exia. It falls over all the time. I don't know if anybody else has the same problem with that. Too Young for War wants to see more Master Grade figure eyes like Vegeta, Gohan, etc. It's a good possibility depending on how the sales go of the first two Son Gokus. And how would Hajime Katoki design the Master Grade Exia? Probably with a lot of decals. No 91 something or other asks, what's your favorite kit in 144th, 100th, and 160th? Well, 160th is easy because I've only built one, the Exia, which I liked. 100th, I like the Gundam version 2.0, just it still hasn't been beat yet. And 144th, maybe Reborn's Gundam or the just released Gundam X. But then again, it's very easy to enjoy the kits you just built, and think that they're the best. Mailman talks about a Master Grade Devil Gundam and says we probably won't get one. I've got to agree just based on the size, plus which iteration would they do. But high grade, I think I said it yesterday, I think there's a good chance of it, and something that would be a great battle scene to set up Domon versus the Devil Gundam. Frozen Solid says that my reviews have helped him choose between several models, which is great. I mean, that's why I make it, especially it's expensive to import these things, so if helping you guys choose ones that you'll actually like helps, hey, that's why I'm trying to do this. He also asked which Gundam games do I play besides the modeling, and to be honest, I haven't played that much, but I played the 1 Year War on PS2, I played the MS Sensen all the way through on Wii, I played, the Versus Zaft, Gundam vs. Gundam is for Seed on PS2 and in the arcades, and Gundam vs. Gundam. And how can I forget G-Generation Wars, which is the worst time sync I've ever come across in my life, but incredible. Anybody, go play that game. Zeta01 asks a good question about why does Bandai still make those white stick beam sabers, and basically they're just one long piece of white plastic that you have to paint pink, and he's saying that they should be putting in clear parts, and I agree, but I think that if you're going to get a kit where it only has one clear pink part for the beam saber, that Bandai might not be inclined to go through the trouble of making an extra color on the plates for that. But I think with the with the O Gundam, they just gave you a tiny sheet with 2 pink parts in that. So if the Gundam doesn't have a unique beam saber, maybe they could just throw that in with every kit. Something I'd like to see too. But again, it's probably going to raise the cost like 50 yen or something. Deathscythe Hell, good question. Where did I get the Char Zaku mask and how long ago did I get it? Well, around the time I started making videos, and I remember they were having draws here, and they still have them all the time at convenience stores, where, for example, they'll have a Gurren login thing at the front of 7-Eleven. You walk in, you pay 500 yen or 800 yen, and you buy a ticket, and you can win an A prize to a J prize, with the J prize being lots and pretty bad, and the A prize being awesome. So anyway, they had a Char's mask there, and I remember I bought a ticket, I lost and got something crappy that I didn't want, and then I ended up finding the mask on sale later for like 200 yen. So that's the story of how I got my mask. Optimus Wee says he knows I don't like painting, but have I ever thought about building a resin kit? The answer is no. You have to be a good modeler to do that, and what's the point? If I put something together, spend a lot of money on tools, it's not fun, takes too long, and it's going to end up looking terrible. I don't really see a point, which is why I am always happy when Bandai makes a good kit that I don't have to put any effort into. Exodia is talking about a Master Grade Dio, which I do want, and he gives a list here of some of the suits, the bad guys that have gotten, but just not enough Climax bad guys got it. One thing that's going in the O's favor here is that Zeta is probably the most well-loved series here in Japan. So people that grew up in the 80s and they watched Zeta Gundam are now salarymen with disposable income and would probably drop the 7,000 yen that it would cost to buy a Master Grade Dio. Firebeamer, this was in the news the other day. Congratulations to Bandai for selling 400 million Gundam kits. That is a lot. Wow, congratulations. And it's something that I hope they keep doing, and they've got to do that in two ways, with the quality getting better and better, which means the price is going to go up, which we can't really complain about, but they've also got to be going for that low-end market with the SD and the Karotos and stuff like that. So Bandai, you got to be attacking both sides of the market, so keep that up, and we'll be at, what, 1 billion in the next 10 years or so. Slam Dunk Tensei likes 0080, which is a great anime, actually very unique anyway, but he asks about the high-grade kits. I haven't built any from the line. Basically, just if you look at my which Gundam kits should you buy, just look at the year. If it's a kit made back in 2000, it's probably going to be a little disappointing, and if it's built in 2007, it's going to be great. He also asks the proper way to clip parts from the runner so you don't get annoying white spots. Well, the way I do this is wrong, and it's not what Bandai says and it's not what pros do, but actually just when it's on the runners for me, I just edge my clippers, and I bought good clippers, that makes all the difference, right up to the edge, and I cut it as smooth as I can get it the first time. Then I use a modeling knife just to shave it down, and then I use real touch markers or lining markers just to go over the color and get rid of the white discoloration. And it's really poor, and if you just rub your finger over it, it'll wipe off all the excess ink, but you know what? Nobody sees the cut marks very much on my models, and that's good enough for me. But ideally, you should be cutting away from the part itself, and then trimming it, and then sanding it, and then filling it, etc., etc., etc. But anyway, my way does a pretty good job for the small amount of time it takes. Alright, thanks for watching everybody all the way through. Wow, that was long. And anyway, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Don't forget, Master Grade Wing. Let's see you here next week. Bring your friends. See you, everybody.